Any evidence of a physical geometric sphere edge in the meantime? Any evidence of a physical geometric... No, go on.
Oh yeah, not a problem. I can certainly show that to you. We're going to use some empirical evidence using measurements. And because we know the Earth is definitely does not measure flat. So we're going to watch a few surveyors here. We're going to show you measurements using the theodolites or total stations. So we're going to have a fellow here who's going to explain the difference between plane surveying and geodetic surveying, and why and where you actually use these two different methods. Then we're going to watch a surveyor named Baron Rutledge. He's going to show you a couple of measurements that are impossible in flat Earth and are strong evidence for the globe. We're also going to watch a fellow named the Maine Surveyor, who's going to do some measurements over water, of lighthouses, and show you with graphs and empirical evidence how and why they measure what they do, and show you where his measurements broke down so that hopefully me and Flat Earthers can explain that, because it'd be drawings. So we'll have to see. Let's get started.
That would be useful for plane surveying was, let's say if you're in a refinery and you're trying to set stakes for where footings are going to go for a tank foundation. There's a lot of structures around that site. There, your geodetic's not going to be very useful because you have the RTK, you're going to have metal structures, you're going to have bouncing, you'll have multipathing issues. It's not going to fit there. There, you just use your plane surveying, you bring a total station in there, you set up, you'd actually lay it out with total station. It'd be a lot tighter control, a lot better. It's a small site. Now, if you're out there doing same thing, doing a pipeline route and you were surveying 50 miles worth of pipeline, you have to take into account the curvature of the Earth, or you have to apply a scale factor throughout the route. Well, if you use geodetic surveying, you take into account that curve factor of the Earth, and you're able to actually start and use one piece of equipment throughout, and it becomes a lot easier at that point. Those are kind of scenarios where each one would be useful.
Flat earthers would like you to believe that the Earth is flat without actually measuring anything or coming out and observing anything. What I'm about to show you should be impossible on a flat Earth. This disc here was set in 1919 and reset in 1935, and it has an elevation above sea level of 6,886 feet. I am currently about 2 feet above that mark. So we'll say a 6,888. Out there is Mount Graham. Right on the other side, this here is Mount Lemmon. Follow it over here, there's a ridge. That's Mount Graham. Mount Graham is 10,709 feet above sea level, which means Mount Graham should be above eye level. Let's take a look. That means I'm plumb and level. Now Mount Graham is 114 miles away, but it's 3,826 feet taller than I am. Meaning if the Earth were flat and I drew a straight line from my eyes to Mount Graham, I'd be bisecting the mountain itself well below the summit. But because the Earth is curved, it's well below eye level. Okay, flat earthers say that the Earth measures flat. I'm out here to find out. They say elevation angles prove that. So I just got the instrument back from the survey department. There is my sticker. We are fresh and ready to roll. And from what I understand is this Leica T110 is a very rare find and highly sought after. So I'm very excited about that. We are set up over this monument here. That is a PID of Zulu, Z as in Zulu 317. You can go check that out on NOAA. It has an elevation of a 3013.9. I am currently 4.48 feet above the bronze disc. Let's run some numbers here. That is the height of the instrument. That is the height of the instrument above that point, plus the height of that point above the datum. Gives me a grand total of 3018.39. The target is Mount Wrightson, located in Tucson, Arizona. That is 9456. Pulling or inversing between the two bronze discs, I have one here, we come up with a grand total of 146,784 feet. We want to know this angle that I would have to turn to the top of that mountain to see if the earth is indeed flat. So I take the arc tangent of the opposite side of my triangle. That's just the difference between this guy and this guy. That's a 6437.61 divided by the adjacent side of my triangle. And we hit the arc tangent, and I get an angle of 2 degrees, 30 minutes, and 40 arc seconds. Let's hit this guy here. You can see everything looks good. You can see the little red dot here is illuminating the punch that's in the disc, so I am plumb directly over the point. Let's take a look here. We're at a 230.43. Let's get this guy back down to a 230.40. All right, there we are, 230.40. And let's take a look through the scope and see if we are bisecting the peak. Well, look at that. We are not bisecting the peak. You can definitely see there's a departure between the horizontal crosshair and the summit of that mountain. So we definitely know for sure that elevation angles do not agree with the flat earth. Okay.
Hello YouTubers, this is Jeff the Maine Surveyor here. I'm up here at Williams Reset. It's a geodetic survey marker up here at Portland Head. And I've got my total station set up. I'm going to backsite Spring Point Ledge Light, which is over there. And then I'm going to turn to Halfway Rock, which is there in the center of your screen, hard to see. I'm going to take measurements of the light tower and the boathouse next to it. I may take some measurements of Ram Mountain Ledge Light right here. And then there is another lighthouse just beyond Halfway Rock I'm going to get some measurements on as well. And my source of information is from NGS. Last night I went to the website and I got these coordinates off the data sheets for these different points. So I'm on Williams Reset. There's Northings and Eastings and state plane coordinates, Maine West Zone, Nat 83. And then I have these various lighthouses. So I'm going to backsite this one, Spring Point Ledge Lighthouse. And then we'll turn angles to a few others and measure Halfway Rock. So I'll catch you a little bit later. So this is my backsite. I'm looking at Spring Point Ledge Light, and look how those windows and the door at the bottom all line up with my backsite crosshairs. That's very, very helpful. So that's my backsite, and I'm going to turn some angles. Okay, that's Halfway Rock Lighthouse right there, and the very tip top of the tower is splitting my double crosshairs. And you see there's another lighthouse off to the left of that, which I've never seen before because I never looked at Halfway Rock from this high. I'm at over 72 feet up here. I've only looked at it from 6 feet and about 30 feet. So it's my first time looking at it from this height, and that's pretty interesting. So we're going to get some measurements here. I'm going to measure the height of Halfway Rock and the boathouse, and then I'm going to turn angles to that other lighthouse over there. Okay, now I'm going to turn angles to that lighthouse to the left of Halfway Rock. And we'll see how tall that is.
Though hard rivers through the spray it flies, the ocean whispers to the endless skies. Ships do vanish neath the curling blue, but we'll return to prove what's true. The stars above our ancient guide so bright mark the paths where waves meet starry night. Around the world and back we steer so bold, on Earth's curved back her story told. The stars above our ancient guide so bright mark the paths where waves meet starry night. Around the the world and back we steer so bold. On Earth's curved back a story told. Over the edge where legends fade, the horizon bends, a truth conveyed. Celestial maps and a sailor's vow, the proof is there, just look it now. Compass spins where poles do hide. On these turning seas we earn our stride. Seen the sun sink and the moon arise. On journeys past where reason lies. Around the world the trade winds call. Gravity's hands cradles us all. Through north and south and round they go. An endless circle Earth does show. Row hard, brothers, the tale is clear. Beyond that line there's nothing to fear. Adventure's crest on the rolling seas. Earth's gentle arc upholds men's fleas. Over the edge where legends fade, the horizon bends, the truth conveyed. Celestial maps and the sailor's vow, the proof is there, just look it now. Conquer the edge where legends fade, the horizon bends, the truth conveyed. Celestial maps and the sailor's vow, the proof is there, just look it now. Compass spins where poles do hide. On these turning seas we earn our stride. Seen the sun sink and the moon arise. On journeys past where reason lies. Around the world the trade winds call. Gravity's hand cradles us all. Through north and south and round they go. An endless circle Earth does show. An endless circle Earth does show. Around the world the trade winds call. Gravity's hand cradles us all. The north and south and round they go. An endless circle Earth does show. Row hard, brothers, the tale is clear. Beyond that line there's nothing to fear. Adventure's crest on the rolling seas. Earth's gentle arc upholds men's pleas.
Stuff like that's why people quit flat Earth, dude. You know? That's why people quit, dude.
Ah, yes. The good stuff. Always sweeten my coffee with the tears of flerfs.